Clients. One moment, they can be involved in the project, praising your achievements and efforts, and in the blink of an eye, they can turn into your most demanding critic and seem like the most difficult person to work with on the face of the earth. Do you know how to deal with difficult clients? Whatever perfect client collaboration you have in mind, it's highly unlikely there won't be a single situation when you'll have a clash of opinions with your client. Clients can be demanding and difficult in different ways. Let's see how you can overcome the most common challenges of working with demanding clients. A client who is critical of your work. Learning to accept criticism and use it as an opportunity for growth and improvement is important. But clients who are never satisfied with your achievements and constantly criticize your work can be very difficult to work with. When giving in to your client's demands could jeopardize the success of a project, you have to think twice whether you'll comply with their suggestions. At that point, you need to communicate clearly and openly with your client, and this is when you should make the most of your soft skills. We have a video on soft skills you might want to check out. We leave a link below. Communicating with your client ensures you're on the same page as you both want what's best for the project. Hear the client out and ask them questions. Explain your point of view and most importantly, back it up with facts, expertise, and research before introducing any changes. A know-it-all client. You might be hired to do the work, but your client knows everything about how it should be done. A client who takes complete control over your project and allows you no space for creativity or project autonomy can make you want to end the collaboration ASAP. Even if your client acts like they could do this project all by themselves, 10 times faster and better, they wouldn't hire you if that was the case. Most of the time, they just want to be heard. Show empathy and listen to their suggestions. Your client wants to share what they know with you as it makes them feel appreciated and valued. Let them know you appreciate their contribution, take their advice with a grain of salt, and show understanding along the way. An indecisive client. A client that doesn't have the faintest idea of what they would like or expect from the project could cause you to miss deadlines, as you often find yourself back to square one. When dealing with a client who cannot decide, it's best to narrow down their options. Come up with solutions, ideally 2, and narrow down their options while giving them a choice. Explain why you have selected these options and let them have the final say. If your suggestions aren't good enough for your client, allow them to elaborate on their point of view and consider their suggestions before implementing future changes. An angry client. Whatever the dissatisfaction or frustration a client might feel about the work and the project, it's never okay to be rude or aggressive. Finding yourself in such a situation can be upsetting, unsettling, and unpleasant. When facing an angry client, stay calm and try to take yourself out of the situation, as reacting emotionally would only make matters worse. Don't take harsh words personally. Remember, you are working alongside your clients, not against them. Find out where their frustration is coming from and let the client know you will work out a solution, but don't let them take their anger out on you. Try not to have the situation escalate, but if it does, let them know that their behavior is inappropriate and that you won't stand for it. An unhappy client. A client unhappy with your work will constantly complain even when you give 100% at what you do. It can be challenging to deal with an unhappy client, but learning how to communicate with your client will allow you to find common ground. An unhappy client can also be an angry client, showing their dissatisfaction in a different way. Your most important task in this situation is determining why the client is unhappy. Did you meet their expectations? Have you had different visions for the project from the start? Was there a communication breakdown? Communicate with them and exchange thoughts on the matter. They will undoubtedly appreciate your effort to make things better. An impatient client. Working with a client that needs a project done for yesterday can be incredibly draining, as you are working towards a schedule but are set to fail from the get-go. Impatient clients will often reach out more frequently to find out the completion date, creating unnecessary pressure. An impatient client might be pressed by other circumstances surrounding their work that you know nothing about, but what you can do is show up for them, be available, and always provide a prompt reply. Updating them regularly on the progress might reduce some of the stress they're experiencing. Try to explain your work process, set milestones, and let them know when you reach milestones and goals to ensure them that the project is going as planned. An uninterested client. A client who is completely uninterested and unable to provide any feedback can jeopardize the project's success, because you won't know whether the project is heading in the right direction. Communicate with your client and elicit feedback. Try to keep your client in the loop by making it super easy for them to participate and take action. Using Active Collab, you can effortlessly communicate with your clients and update them on the project's progress. By making it easier for them to participate, you are boosting the chances that they will take a more active role in the project. A client that doesn't want to pay. Last but not least, there are situations when the client doesn't want to pay for the project. Before agreeing to work on the project, you should discuss payment dynamics, create a contract, and come to a legally binding agreement. If the client refuses to pay, you might need legal action. If, on the other hand, the client can pay, you might come to an agreement by suggesting a payment plan that will suit both parties. When encountering a bump on the road, take the time to reflect. Raising your self-awareness will benefit your growth. If you constantly have issues with different clients, ask yourself, could you be doing something wrong? If you cannot seem to find common ground even after trying everything, sometimes letting a client go could be for the best. Thank you for watching. Make sure to like, share, and subscribe. And let us know in the comments, have you ever had to work with a difficult client? And how did you cope? See you soon. When giving in to your client's demands could jeopardize it. They could do this project. Even if your client acts like they could do this.